The Brisca Formula 1 stock cars make their sole visit of the 2020 season to Buxton Raceway in the Peak District for the latest round of the Chase for the Rainbow Roof, supporting NHS charities and frontline workers. A slightly reduced field of just over 20 cars are here in what can be described as typical Buxton Raceway weather. The drivers will do their best to put on a good show, as will the supporting national ministox. Let's take a look at the schedule for today. Then two heats for the Brisca Formula 1s, followed by the final for the national ministox in the first part of our programme. Then the minis have their all-comers before the final and grand national for the Brisca F1s in part 2 of our programme. You can see how treacherous the conditions are. The weather has not been kind to tarmac racing this year, sadly. As we say, this is the only visit to Buxton Raceway this season for the Brisca F1s. We've got 20 cars out there for Heat 1. It's an all-in format today for the F1s, 2 heats, a final and a Grand National. John Horn in number 19, Anthony Lee 339 leading the cars away. The Evans twins are out there going from yellow top to Tyrone and Lewis. So out there we've got Phoebe Wayman in the 211. The world champion is out there, Tom Harris, as well as Mark Sargent, the leader of the Chase for the Rainbow Roof. It's the points determined by what grade you are. There's Paul Hines, Craig Finnegan, the European champions out there, Luke Davidson as well, and also 515 of Junior Wayman. We're on board with Tom Harris, the current world, British and national points champion in car number 1. This will be a 16-lap race and we are underway with heat number 1. It is absolutely treacherous out there, as you can see. A couple of blue graders there, 172 Mickey Randall, good to see him out. Finn Sargent as well, son of Mark, in the 526 car, but it really is nigh impossible out there with well, what we described earlier as typical Buxton Raceway weather and typical tarmac racing weather this year. Number 19, John Horn, has the early lead then. So one of the drivers can see where they're going. They're really struggling, particularly on that outside line. Horn leads it. Ant Lee has spun away second place. The Evans twins have come through as a result of that. Aaron Leach, number 70. Good to see him back out. Not seen much of Aaron this season, going wide to avoid the spinning car of Ant Lee there. Down the back straight there's 361 of Steve Reedman, getting bumpered wide by Paul Hines. That's held up Russell Cooper in the 415 car. Phoebe Wayman, 211, gets through as well. Paul Hines are under fire from Craig Finnegan, the European champion with the red and yellow checkered roof. He's had a couple of final wins on the shale at Kings Lynn recently at the Adrian Flux Arena. And Lee stuck there on the outside. It's a slightly reduced field, just over 20 Brisca F1s here today, but a decent field of national ministocks in support. See them out later on as Tom Harris tries to go around the outside of Junior Wayman there. I don't think that's going to work. Facing now Steve Reedman in 361, a driver who only makes sporadic appearances, and he gets squeezed there. Tom Harris in trouble, slides out wide. He's just about held that together. His running mate 464, Luke Davidson, gets through on the inside, another former European champion. And Lee still stuck there on the outside. Your leader is still John Horn, the white grader in number 19 at the moment, as we come up towards half distance in this 16-lap race. With Aaron Leach once again in the number 70 car. Decidedly slip and slide around the turns there, and he loses a place. That's Austin Moore, number 127, who has got through. Simon Binder being lapped in number 128, racing one of Daz Kinson's cars. Lap down. John Horn being challenged for the lead now by the Evans twins. We've seen what they can do on wet tarmac up at Skegness already this year. 381 Tyrone and 392 Lewis in second and third places now. They want every honour available to them in the national ministocks. Challenging John Horn, who's gone wide there around the turn. Now it looks as though 381 of Tyrone Evans has got through. Yes, he has. So Tyrone Evans, your new race leader. Meantime, further back, Aaron Leach duking it out with the 515 of Junior Wayman. He's further back in the pack. Wayman struggling a bit in these damp conditions by the look of it. May have a problem now. We saw him run wide. Now here comes Tom Harris in car number 1. The lower graders still holding sway at the front end. Junior Wayman has got a problem. He's pulling off. So retirement for the 515 car. This is an all-in format today. No consolation, of course. Somebody's hit the 339 car there in the background. Didn't see who that was. Our back markers just colliding with the spun car. Harris on the outside of Luke Davidson in the 464. Side by side around the turn. Still your leader though is 381 of Tyrone Evans, as Davidson, the current Gold Cup champion, won that at Venray in Holland last season. You can see the gold stripes on his aerofoil, number 464. To fire from the gold top, world champion Tom Harris. 238 Richard Bryan's new car up ahead of them. They go past that straight down the back straight there. Now coming up on Simon Binder in the 128s. Still the Evans twins holding sway at the front though. Tyrone ahead of his brother Lewis. Pretty much dividing up the wins on tarmac this year. There's 345 of Jake Harry under fire from the 55 of Craig Finnegan. Mark Sargent behind them in 326. He's had a fairly quiet race here. Looking now for our leaders in just a moment. On board with Finn Sargent in 526. Real struggle for the drivers, you can see, to see where they're going. Attacking the number 70 of Aaron Leach, just squeezes against the inner curve there. Not the widest of tracks here at Buxton. It's a tricky one, fast down the straights and tight turns. It's been great entertaining racing, plenty of last bend lunges as well. The tarmac not as even as it looks either. Still the Evans twins fighting it out, just a couple of laps to go now. Tyrone in front, his brother Lewis is right behind him. Aaron Leach under fire from the 172 of Tricky Mickey. Mick Randall, 3 wide there with one of the back markers. Number 86 car there, and here come the leaders up behind them, and Tyrone Evans has been held up slightly there, and the bumper does go in from Lewis Evans in the 392. Sibling rivalry, that's what we like to see. So Lewis has got the lead. He needs to get Mickey Randall out of his way here. Tyrone's on his back bumper. It's going to be side by side between the twins on the run to the line. Very close there as they cross the line. I think Lewis just got it. That was close. Almost a dead heat between the twins there. I think Lewis Evans has won it. Tom Harris comes home further back in the pack. He's quite a way back, in fact. We'll confirm the official result in a moment. A photo finish almost there between the Evans twins. The red flags now go out on Brisca F1 heat number 1, and we'll confirm the result then. It was Lewis Evans who took the win by 0.08 of a second ahead of his brother Tyrone. Craig Finnegan third ahead of Paul Hines, with John Horn, the early leader, completing the top 5 ahead of Jake Harry, Mark Sargent, Tom Harris only 8th, Luke Davidson and Austin Moore rounding out the top 10 in heat number 1.
Heat 1 winner, 392, Lewis Evans. We thought your brother had that one, but you had different thoughts.
Yeah, obviously I saw he got a bit of a gap, and then thought I'm going to try and catch him up for the end, and then he got held a bit by Phoebe, which made me, well, I could get onto the back of him then, and then as soon as I got my chance on the second to last bends, I just took it straight away. So.
And this is your first time at Buxton in a Formula 1, how did you like it?
It's fast, the straights are long, obviously I had to slow it down for the corners, but yeah, really fast end straights. So.
And just like Skegness, it's also chucking it down today, but you seem to go well in the wet.
Yeah, and from yellow as well, but as long as you want to win the race, you can win it from anywhere really. So.
Well, there's a strong possibility, if we're not talking to you again later, we're going to be talking to your brother. I think we've got a spot for the day here.
I don't know about that. I think I might want to win it as well, so yeah.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Same field of drivers out again then for heat number 2, and once again it's John Horn and Ant Lee on the front row of the grid. Ant, who spun out of race 1. John Horn led the first half of the race before the Evans twins took over. Let's see if Lewis Evans can make it a double. Only 0.088 of a second in it. It was a photo finish between the brothers in that first heat. They're out among the yellow graders this time. The new sensations of Brisca F1. Bit of steam there coming from Jake Harry's car as he splashed through the puddle. And 2 blue graders, Finn Sargent and 7-2 Mickey Randall. Paul Hines alongside Craig Finnegan, behind them Luke Davidson. The 2 big guns at the back, Junior Wayman and Tom Harris on board with Paul Hines in the 259 car. Another 16 laps in the glorious Peak District weather. It has been known to snow in summer here at Buxton. We are at one of the highest points of the Peak District. Very picturesque setting for a stock car track, but not great weather-wise. Here we go then, we're underway, and Aaron Leach gets a face full of rainwater as we get underway. We're on board with him, battling with Mark Sargent and Phoebe Wayman. Also there on the inside is Steve Reedman in the 361 car. John Horn once again leading away at the front of the field. But look at the conditions, how the drivers can see where they're going, I do not know. Mind you, they've had plenty of practice at Skegness this season. It seems to rain every time the drivers go there. 128 Simon Binder running out wide, he's struggling, and Steve Reedman struggling, he's in trouble. Wallop straight in backwards he goes, spun out by Luke Davidson in the 361 car. Reedman has gone. On board with Tom Harris, the world champion attacking Mickey Randall, fires the bumper in on the back of the Blue Raider, takes him out wide. His next target is Craig Finnegan, he goes right the way around the outside, but we have a caution out. The caution flags are out, so the field will line up single file. We saw the yellow lights on there, so there's a stranded car somewhere on the raceway. I presume it's for Steve Reedman, as he took this attack from Luke Davidson and walloped straight in, he went backwards. Reedman stuck on the outside of the turn, that's the reason for the yellow flags coming out. We see him there from Paul Hines' camera. Davidson rejoining into the front of Paul Hines there. So Steve Reedman's car is towed in. We've lost Anthony Lee as well, and Simon Binder, 128, I can tell you, has also dropped out of the race. So we've lost 3 cars already. Full credit to the marshals and recovery drivers, all the other staff here at Buxton Raceway in these difficult conditions today. Couldn't go racing without them. And thanks to them for their services, and thanks as well to everybody who has donated towards the fund in the chase for the Rainbow Roof as well. Great total been raised so far in aid of NHS charities and frontline workers. No World Championship or anything else for the Brisca F1s this year. The Rainbow Roof is what they're chasing, and Mark Sargent currently leads the chase for it. There's Austin Moore, 127. Richard Bryan, very smart looking car for him. We're on board with it. Looking back, see the distinctive smaller wing design. That car looks more like a Brisca F2 with that wing on there. See if it works any better for Richard. Ex-national ministox racer. We'll see them out next for their meeting final. I'll tell you, Finn Hunter-Johnson won 2 of the heats for them, and Jack Witts won the other. Coming round then to take the restart, just a couple of laps into. It's heat number 2 here at Buxton Raceway. Roofs begin to rise, and away they go. Richard Bryan could come under fire here as the green flag goes down. It's attacking Austin Moore and Russell Cooper. Phoebe Wayman's there on the inside. She gets the bumper in, and round goes Richard Bryan. I thought he might come under attack there, and Phoebe Wayman spins him out. Into the wall has gone Jake Harry in the 345, and John Horn's been jumped on the restart by the Evans twins. Lewis into the lead ahead of Tyrone. Set to continue their tarmac dominance, and Junior Wayman, who failed to finish heat 1, attacking Tom Harris, were with him coming off turn 4. Junior Wayman looking to make up for lost time here, pulled off halfway through the first heat with a problem. Just about see them from our trackside camera there. Wayman ahead of Harris, then it's Luke Davidson, Paul Hines with his distinctive tilted chassis behind them. Look at the cab on his car, leaning over to one side. Harris in the number 1. Now a double world champion, of course, won that at Kings Lynn last season. The tale of Junior Wayman. He's won more titles than I can remember in the sport, including the National Points Championship, a record 14 times. Tom Harris gets past him there, coming through turns 3, and now steams past Austin Moore in the 127, trying to catch our leaders, but the Evans twins are going to take some catching. You would not believe they're new to Brisca F1 this year. You wouldn't believe they're only 16 years old, the twins. Their dad, Chad Evans, an ex-racer as well. He raced at a number 392. Family from the West Midlands really making waves, quite literally, here at Buxton Raceway today. Hines lad from Leicestershire we ride with in the 259 car, the blazing businessman. Racing down Austin Moore in 127, who's slipping back down the order. There's Craig Finnegan in the 55. He's on the tail of Tom Harris, coming up towards halfway now. Junior Wayman on the back of John Horn in number 19, who slipped back down the order, returning this year after a year or 2 out of racing. Junior Wayman gets past Mark Sargent in the 326, who's struggling a bit in the wet conditions. The Lincolnshire driver, the East Coast legend as he's known, bring the house down if he wins the Rainbow Roof. Junior Wayman with the bumper on Craig Finnegan, chasing now Tom Harris. They've made their way up the order into the top 5 now, these 3 trying to chase down the Evans twins up front. It'll be a tough task here. Sargent behind them. Then we've got Luke Davidson, Paul Hines and John Horn. Just going in further back. The Blue Raiders getting involved there, I noticed. Didn't see which one it was, whether it was Mickey Randall or Finn Sargent. John Horn a bit sideways there off the turn. Luke Davidson comes under fire from Paul Hines. They're side by side out of turn 4. Despite the conditions, the drivers are putting on a very good show indeed, trying their hardest to entertain. slip and slide their way around this tricky tarmac oval. There is a shale oval here on site at Buxton. It's next door to the tarmac oval. It's the home of the Buxton Hitmen Speedway team. Junior speedway riders have come through the ranks there. Mark Sargent gets the bumper from Luke Davidson, who moves through. It's still the Evans twins setting the pace up front. Don't see much of them because they're so far ahead of everybody else. Tom Harris is now third, then it's Wayneman in fourth position. Craig Finnick is fifth. We're on board once again with Richard Bryan. He's going round again. Oh, full 360. Nicely done, Richard. Points for style, but it won't help his points in the chase for the Rainbow Roof. There go the leaders. Just got a glimpse of the Evans twins going through. On board with Tom Harris, who's in third place. Less than 4 laps to go now. You can see the Evans boys up ahead of him. Catching them is another matter. Here's our leader, Lewis Evans in 392, lapping Phoebe Wayneman and Aaron Leach in the number 70. Is his brother going to catch him and get revenge for pitching the win off him in a photo finish in Heat 1? Is Tyrone going to catch him here? It's not looking like it at the moment. There's Tyrone in the maroon-coloured car. That's the ex-Stu Heppenstall car. I think Lewis racing his dad's old car, number 392. Apologies if I've got that the wrong way round. Tom Harris continues on in third place. Trying to close on the Evans boys. To lap Aaron Leach in number 70. It looks like it is going to be a win for one of the Evanses, and I think it's going to be Lewis with the double. I don't think he's going to be caught here. Through the rain they come. We're on the last lap now. It is going to be Lewis Evans in 392. Here he comes, down towards turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The youngster from the West Midlands makes it 2 out of 2. A more clear-cut victory this time. There's the checkered flag. It's going to be a family double once again because 381 of Tyrone comes home second. Tom Harris is third. The rest of them come through. We'll confirm the results in a moment. Even the world champion can't, well, we normally say keeping up with the Joneses, don't we? But it's keeping up with the Evanses on tarmac this year. So far, they have been absolutely dominant, both here at Buxton and at Skegness as well. With only 3 venues running Brisca F1 this year, the other being Kings Lynn on the Shale, of course. Let's have a look at the result then. It's another Evans 1-2, but this time by nearly 3 seconds between the two of them. Tom Harris in third, ahead of Junior Wayneman and Craig Finnick. Luke Davidson in 6th position, ahead of Paul Hines. Mark Sargent, the points leader, down in 8th, ahead of Austin Moore and Finn Sargent. Total of 16 cars going the distance in that heat number 2.
Heat 2 winner. Do you ever get that feeling of deja vu? Lewis Evans again?
Yeah, obviously I went out to win that one as well, and I won it, so yeah.
And you've been chasing that elusive final now. It looks like today could be your night.
Yeah, hopefully. Obviously in a few minutes I'll be out on the track, and I'm still as hungry as ever to get that final win. So.
And how have you found it tonight? It must be hard seeing out there.
Well, it isn't too bad nags. The riding slowed down a bit and the water's gone off the track a bit, but yeah, in the first one you're going down the straights, and if somebody was in front of you, then you were just looking like for somewhere on their car where you could track where their car actually was, because the spray was that bad you couldn't see the rest of the car. So.
Yeah, certainly tricky in it, but the racing's been good. There's not many cars, but the racing has been good.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously I've had a good night, and superstars don't really seem to be coming through that fast, but well, I know I'm fast as well, but yeah, definitely. So.
Well, see what the final brings.
Thank you.
Now we break away from the Brisca Formula 1 actions, take a look at the young guns in the national mini-stocks. All of these drivers under the age of 16, some as young as 11 in their armoured minis. It was Blue Raider number 120 and Finn Hunter-Johnson who won 2 of the heats earlier on. Heat 3 was won by the European champion Jack Witz, the 2-time Gold Top National Championship winner as well. He'll be towards the back of the field in this one. Plenty of names to look out for in this sizable field, just over 20 cars out there. Non-qualifiers starting from the back, including Freddie Hunter-Johnson, the second of the 2 brothers. Ellie Dickerson there on the front row in 443. She'll be worth watching for. She won the title of Queen of Chaos last season at the National Mini Stocks Awards, so expect plenty of wallop straight in from her. There she is on the front row of the grid for this one, alongside the 105 of James Bonner. Behind them, that's the number 125 car. I think we get underway then. 9.25, sorry, behind them of Jake Wilson. So it's 15 laps for the National Ministox under the floodlights here at Buxton. It's Ellie Dickerson who leads them away. Already a bit of slip and slide taking place in the pack. It'll be tricky to pick out the numbers on some of these cars. We saw number 27 there of Luke Siret Barsby. The yellow graders already cutting through the middle there. The 9.25 slowing up, that's Jake Wilson. Looks like he's in trouble already. It is Ellie Dickerson who leads the first lap of the race then. He's being chased by James Bonner in the 105 on Wallop. Straight in we go. There's the first one. That's Jake Woodhull in the number 335. James Bonner, I believe he's the son of Chris Bonner, who used to race Brisca F1 under the number 105, challenging Ellie Dickerson. Down the inside he goes, takes the lead from Ellie. The rest of the pack slip and slide their way round behind. Look out for Jack Wintz in there. Racing under both number 180 and number 1 in his career. Two-time winner of the Gold Top. He'll go for a third Gold Top. We've got caution out there because somebody's stranded there on the back straights. I think that's Jake Woodhull after that wallop he took. You see him getting caught up there with the, I think that's the 345 car of Tom Andrew, and just bounces off the fence there. Jake Woodhull out of the race then, just checking that he's okay, and then we'll get back underway. There's the 180 car, that is Jack Witz. Behind him, 67 of Henry Robson. We've seen his sister Molly successful in the National Ministox and in the V8 Hot Stocks this season as well. It's James Bonner with the lead, Ellie Dickerson second, 277 Tom Rogers is in third place. This, of course, the training ground for the stars of tomorrow in Brisca F1. This is where the Evans twins have learnt their trade, and many, many other drivers going back many years as well. It was back in the 1970s, I believe, this formula started. There's number 55, that's Lily Finnekin. Lily the Pink, as we call her. You can see why, she's the daughter of Craig Finnekin. Freddie Hunter-Johnson at the back, younger brother of Finn in 120, who's going for a hat-trick. He's in fourth place on this restart. Here we go. Tom Andrew goes out wide in the 345. Tuddle's there on the outside. Somebody out of shape there. That was the 155 car, I think, in trouble. Race starts to settle back down again. James Bonner in the white car gets away. Up into second place is Luke Siret Barsby with the pink wheels there in number 27. Whole line of contact behind. 85 of Caden Morrison was in there. Very successful in the online E-Series for National Ministox run by the club during lockdown. Caden Morrison, a very accomplished sim racer. Somebody getting caught up there in the background, couldn't see through the rain who it was. So James Bonner leads it. No, he doesn't, because straight up the inside goes number 27, Luke Siret Barsby. It's three wide further back to third. In there, I think, was Jack Witz was one of them. Finn Hunter-Johnson was in there as well in the 120 car. Getting very busy in there. Hunter-Johnson sideways, nearly loses it. Nice recovery by Finn. Had a rollover here at Buxton last year when the National Ministox supported the Formula 2 Stock Car World Final. 277 in there, Tom Rogers. There's Henry Robson as well in the number 67. Seeing his sister Molly in action, and Dad Graham races Brisca F1 as well, number 267. Gets past Jack Witz there, the European champion in the 180 car. Side by side behind Finn Hunter-Johnson and Tom Rogers in the 277. It's still Luke Siret Barsby, number 27, who leads the way at the moment. The leading ladies there in the yellow car, number 29, that's Gracie Squire. Her sister Ellie Mae Squire, also a racer. But James Bonner, this is impressive from the white top. He's not letting Luke Siret Barsby get away here at the front. Caden Morrison under fire from Jack Witz. Witz family, of course, all of them great racers. You've seen Courtney Witz achieve great things in Brisca F1. Dad Ray Witz, very successful in V8 Hot Stocks and in Brisca F1 as well. Jack Witz, very much a star of the future, very talented young racer. Chasing now Henry Robson in the 67. Finn Hunter-Johnson behind them, looking for a hat-trick. 2 heat wins earlier on, Jack Witz 1 heat 3. They really are coping very well indeed in these impossible conditions. Here's Luke Siret Barsby lapping Lily Finnekin in the 55. In goes the bumper. Just about every member of the Finnekin family have raced over the years, and I think they've all raced number 55. Henry Robson has broken clear of that scrap further down the top 10. He's closing on the 2 leaders. There'll be one to watch here. Jack Witz under fire from Finn Hunter-Johnson. This is good stuff. James Bonner now dropping back slightly in the 105 car. Kate Morrison's in there as well. Also Casey J. Jones, another car getting fired out wide there. Didn't quite catch the number on that one, unfortunately. It's tricky to see through the rain from my commentary position, so apologies for any missed calls on the numbers. 27, Luke Siret-Barsby. 4 laps to go now. Starter signals them through. There's Gracie Squire getting ahead of the 171 car of Tom Dunn. Further down the order in this one, I think 186 in there with him. That's Casey J. Jones as Finn Hunter-Johnson gets fired sideways again, but again he gathers it up. He's lost about 4 places in there though, so it won't be a hat-trick for the Flying Finn in this one. He'll try again in the all-comers race, which is coming up in part 2 of our programme. Jack Witts has got to the head of this group now. So in there is Bonner, Caden Morrison in the 85, Tom Rogers in the 277, then Finn Hunter-Johnson, behind them Lily Finnekin, she's a lap down. Still out front is Luke Siret-Barsby. James Bonner under fire from Caden Morrison, he's going round, no he's not, he's saved it as well. They're driving like rally cars in these conditions, this is brilliant stuff. Very good driving skills on display indeed. Pick up the leaders in just a moment. They'll be coming around to start their final lap, and it will be Luke Siret-Barsby chased by, I think it's Henry Robson up there in second place now. This is the battle further down the order. Is it going to be a win for the 27 or the 67? It's going to be close. 67, Henry Robson is closing on Luke Siret-Barsby. You pick them up as they go down the back straight. Here comes the last bend lunge. Henry Robson up the inside. He's up alongside Luke Siret-Barsby. He's got the tighter line off the turn, and he's going to snatch the win on the final turn. Well done, Henry Robson. Takes the win ahead of Luke Siret-Barsby. Wait to see who comes through in third. I think it might have been Jack Witts ahead of Finn Hunter-Johnson. We'll confirm the rest of the order in a few moments' time. That was a cracking race, to say the least. Well done to everybody involved in that one. A very enjoyable race indeed, and well done indeed to Henry Robson. I think that might be the first final win of his career. Brilliant stuff there from Henry. Let's check out the results of that one then. Henry Robson confirmed as your winner ahead of Luke Siret-Barsby by just 1/10 of a second at the line. Jack Witts taking third ahead of Finn Hunter-Johnson, Caden Morrison, James Bonner and Tom Rogers. Great battle between that group. Then further back, Gracie Squire 8th, Casey Jones 9th and Tom Dunn rounding up the top 10. 14 cars went the distance in that one. Well, despite the bad weather, the drivers coping superbly with the conditions so far here at Buxton Raceway on this Saturday night. The latest round of the chase for the Rainbow Roof, both in the ministox and the Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. Some very enjoyable action from drivers, young and old, here this evening. We are going to take a short break now, but in part 2 we'll have more from both of our formulas here tonight at Buxton Raceway. Don't go away, more stock car action coming up shortly.